to give you a sense of why I think it is a lesser of two evils and why I am disgruntled with President Obama, let's go to clip 8.
I can't, as President of the United States, comment on the decisions about particular prosecutions. That's the job of the Justice Department, and we keep those things separate so that there's no political influence on decisions made by professional prosecutors. I can tell you just from 40,000 feet that some of the most damaging behavior on Wall Street, in some cases some of the least ethical behavior on Wall Street, wasn't illegal. That's exactly why we had to change the laws. And that's why we put in place the toughest financial reform package since FDR and the Great Depression.
That is so wrong on so many levels. Oh, what they did wasn't illegal. I mean, I don't tell the Justice Department what to do. It's just a wild coincidence that they've prosecuted almost no one among the top banks, who happened to be, in a wild coincidence, some of my top donors in 2008. Goldman Sachs, in fact, was his #1 donor. These are all wild coincidences. But when he actually says, hey, you know what, they did nothing illegal, well, that just isn't true. Countrywide said in internal emails, Angelo Mazzillo, the head of the company, said, why are we selling this stuff? This stuff is toxic. Boy, we better dump this stuff, get rid of it, right? Oh, it's garbage, right? Meanwhile, he tells people out in public, oh, it's fantastic, we're in great shape, you should definitely buy this thing that we're selling, it's fantastic. Well, that's illegal, that's fraud. It's fraud 101. Same thing with Goldman Sachs. Carl Levin, senator from Michigan, exposed them. Where they write in their internal memos, this is garbage, I can't wait to bet against it. Then they turn around and bet against their own clients. This is fraud 101. For President Obama to come out here and say, oh, golly gee willikers, there's nothing I can do about the banks because what they did wasn't illegal, it is a best case scenario, incredibly wrong assessment of what happened. I'm afraid it's not just the wrong assessment. He wants to get to the wrong assessment because he, for many of the reasons that we've explained on this show, wants to maintain the establishment exactly as it is. And it's incredibly frustrating. What did he say there at the end again? Jesus, can you play the very end of that clip? Because it wasn't just that they couldn't be prosecuted. I wanted to touch on one other thing there.
We had to change the laws.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we put in place the toughest financial reform package since FDR and the Great Depression.
Come on, historic reform, come on. You've heard me go through this before. They didn't touch anything on derivatives, basically. They can still do the derivatives trading. They don't even have to list most of it. They didn't break up the big banks. They can still gamble with depositors' money. They just call it historic reform. It drives me crazy. So don't believe the hype.